The Chicano movement wasn't as big here in the Midwest. You'll still find some old Chicanos that are just that's just who they are. They're straight up Chicano. That are not Latinos. They're not Latinx. They're nothing. I mean, they are proud to have Mexican heritage, but they're strong Chicanos.
And do you have any friends that consider themselves as Chicanos today?
I met a parent of one of my students who used to be big in the Chicano movement. Apparently, she got herself into a lot of trouble because she went the other route, the more radical route. And so I remember my friend Gilbert Guerrero, who I really know well as a Chicano. He said some would stray, some were a little bit more militant than others, and those were probably the Brown Berets, that was another offshoot of the Chicano movement. Sort of like the folks that would guard Public Enemy, Chuck D and all them. You had their little line of soldiers in uniforms. Is the same thing with the Brown Berets. I mean, they were Chicanos, but they were there to protect if they had to be.
The Brown Berets, is that okay? So were the Brown Berets, was that who were they exactly, and were they only dominant in Kansas City?
There were a few that would claim that. Man, yeah, you're right. I probably know 4 that grew up in there, and they were a lot older than me. Some of them were my dad's age. Because remember, the Chicano movement was back in the 60s, and so my dad was around their ages too, and he knew some of those Chicanos. He didn't agree with them, but he had respect. They respected each other. But that's where I learned, where some of them would they never killed anybody.
Right.
They may burn down a building or two, but that's about as far as they went here in Kansas City. Now back in LA and all that, they were a little more rougher.